Hello and welcome back to the Big Three Sports Talk Show. Nate Martin here with Ion Shaw and Kieran Costa for a great show. We got a lot to talk about. Fantasy football season is upon us. We are going to be talking about drafting strategies, rank running back and the receiver position. Also going to go a bit into some quarterback competitions going on right now in the NFL. But we're going to start off with our regular segments with This Day in Sports History and Player of the Week. Starting off with This Day in Sports History. Ion, what happened?
This day in sports history, an extreme event of interest, something that sparked a lot of controversy. In 2016, the San Francisco 49ers' Colin Kaepernick kneels in protest during the U.S. national anthem at San Diego's Qualcomm Stadium while playing against the Chargers, objecting to racial injustice and police brutality in the U.S. He had an insane impact on a lot of protests and movements today. Actually, we talk about Black Lives Matter and ending police brutality. This stemmed back in 2016. Nike also signed him on to these ad campaigns talking about how he's an unsung hero and what he was doing was actually brave. And it angered both sides. It angered the left side in the sense that, oh yeah, they need to stop and everyone's hating on him even though he has a point, and angered the right because he's not standing for what he should be standing for, which is the fallen heroes who fight outside. So quite a lot of controversy around that. Nate, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty topical. Netflix is going to be releasing, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's a TV show, like a like a kind of like one season thing about Colin Kaepernick's upbringing, him as a high schooler, him as college, because there was a lot of events that transpired that gave him his views that are today. Also, recently, they had Ben Jerry's did a collaboration with him. Ben and Jerry's, as we know, easily the best ice cream you can buy in a grocery store. Do not at me. And yeah, just ever since like football has, because I don't think Colin Kaepernick's going to play another game in the NFL. Unfortunately, I believe that he should get a chance to do so. But he's been able to turn his life around, get a lot of great brand deals with Nike, Ben and Jerry's, Netflix, and continue to promote his cause in promoting the racial injustice and all of the problems going on in the world. Kieran, let's move on to Player of the Week, something a little bit more happy.
This week, we're getting Miggy with it. Miguel Cabrera, Tigers first baseman. It's a long drive to right center. It's over the wall. It's number 500. He tacks on number 501 later in the week in St. Louis. But a huge milestone for Miggy. Of course, the long career. Only one World Series ring. We hope for him to get more, but it doesn't look like it. Great milestone in baseball. So hard to get to. You love to see it. Miggy beloved by all Tigers fans and not Tigers fans.
I vividly remember watching him in the 2012 World Series against the Giants, or was it 20? I'm pretty sure it was 2012, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2012, and they had Verlander, and Miggy was their main field guy. And I just vividly remember the commentators kept on talking about Miggy this, Miggy that, and really happy for him. He's the 28th player to do so.
To join the 500 home run club. Who's next? I'd say Giancarlo. That man's raking. If he can stay healthy in the Bronx, just shoot a couple down the right field line, 350-foot bombs. I predict he's the next one to get there if he can stay on the field. Great for Miggy, great for baseball, great for the Tigers. In what's been an honestly surprisingly good season for them. Still nothing. Let's talk about some real playoff races. My New York Yankees still have not lost since the last time we've recorded. Red hot. Best team in baseball since July 4th. Best team in baseball in the last 12 games. Obviously, we've won 11 of those. And I mean, we saw them at their worst. We had a show where we just really piled on the Yanks, underperforming expectations. And in a blink of an eye, we've turned it around. We have the second best record in the American League. We're hot on Tampa's tail. They come to Oakland Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will be at 2 of those games supporting the lads from New York. Can't wait. I'll see you in the postseason, Giants.
That's a bold prediction, but yeah, the Bronx Bombers have been hot. Really, just I feel like a lot of it. Not only has it just been their bats taking charge, pitching coming up, but it's been key additions. You saw Anthony Rizzo before he went into COVID policy. He was hitting historical numbers for the Yankees.
Team got some heart from the minor leagues. When Rizzo got injured, Urshela got injured, Torres got injured, Chapman got injured. We brought up some young kids from Somerset, from Scranton, and they showed the heart. Andrew Velasquez, kid from the Bronx, right over there in the Bronx. Just amazing story. He hits his first home run. He's in contention. Miggy gets his 500. Velasquez gets his first. You love to see it. The talent's just so deep in New York. My goodness.
I mean, I think that New York has had an amazing stretch and run. And I know that, like, last show we talked about this. I called Kieran a psychopath and I said things about him being in a mental hospital. And I don't really take them back. But in this, just in this case, just in this case, yeah, he was right. The Yankees are 10-0 in their last 10.
11-0 in their last 11.
11-0 in their last 11, sure, and which is astounding to me. But right now, well, they've overtaken the Red Sox, and
we were 10.5 games behind the Red Sox on July 5th.
Red Sox were at the 1, so now it's the Rays who hold the 1, Yankees at the 2 in the AL East, and who do we see coming out on top between these two teams? The Yankees are down 5 games to them right now.
Realistically, it should be the Rays, but the Yankees are playing such a hot streak. I'm still going to take the Rays because the Rays are, I feel like they're just going to do enough to stay on top. But the
Yankees have only gained a game and a half on the Rays in this hot streak. That's how quietly the Rays just win every single day.
Yeah, because the Rays are 8-2 in the last 10, which isn't bad at all. It's actually
Rays are 8-2 in every 10-game stretch.
Yeah, they're a very consistent and solid team.
Rays aren't streaky.
Doing it with half the payroll of the Yankees.
That's ridiculous. The Rays like $90 million, whatever nonsense.
But I think that the Yankees will
He's gonna win the AL for the second year in a row.
I think that the Yankees will make it out on top over the Rays.
I disagree as a Yankees fan. As much as I'd love to see that happen, we can't beat Tampa Bay, so it's gonna come down to like a 3-game set. We play with them. We lose 2 of 3. We comfortably get the first wild card spot, and then we lose to Tampa in the first round, as we always do. Tampa Bay will win the American League. They pay like so little. Theoretically, it shouldn't work. It's like Moneyball, but like the new age of Moneyball, how they run it, like analytics based, no starting.
Instead of having like a bunch of like old dudes who just come out of nowhere, they've gotten really lucky with their farm system. And they're still getting lucky with it.
It's not luck though, is the problem. Like they trade for like pieces that look like nothing, and then they just like turn into superstars. They've moved, like, once those players are coming up for big contracts, they move them on. They did that with Blake Snell, and like how Snell's doing for the Padres this year. They did that with Chris Archer and then brought back Chris Archer.
Archer, he's struggled with injuries this year, but when healthy, he's played some nice games.
Well, in moving on to like other teams right now, what I do want to talk about besides, wait, one second. I'll finish up the AL real quick. So at the East, the Rays are on top. The Yankees are in second. The Red Sox have dropped a lot to the 3rd spot here.
Still in the playoffs, though, the Red Sox.
Yeah, they are. AL Central, you got the White Sox still on top.
But White Sox have locked it up, right? They're up like 10.5, 13.
They have. The Indians behind them down 11 games. And then
they're almost mathematically eliminated.
Then the AL West. You have the Astros on top right now, boo. And behind them, the A's. Astros are up 5 games.
A's looked like they were very close within it. I think they were like 3 games behind, but then they dropped 2 straight to the Giants, kind of pushed them away from contention in the AL West. It's going to take a lot for them to get those 5 games back against the hot Astros ball club.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not getting it. Astros have a lot of laughers though. They play a lot of bad teams.
Astros are moving right now compared to the A's. The A's are 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah.
And then what I really want to talk about is the NL. In the NL East, you got teams that are playing mediocre right now. The Braves on top with 68 wins.
Braves are red
compared
hot.
to-
Braves are really
as of right now, they're red hot. But if you look at their record overall, it's not as comparable to the other teams. The Phillies are right behind.
The
them,
Braves
down
did
5.
exactly what the Yankees did. The Braves like got hit with an injury bug and like underperformed 100x what their expectations were. And they just like the Yankees. So the Yankees played the Braves last Wednesday, and it was the first time maybe like since 1940 that 2 teams had come in on a 10-game winning streak. The Braves and Yankees, 2 red hot teams, ran into each other. Yankees swept the 2-game set, but the Braves were in a Yankees-esque situation. The Mets had the opposite. The Mets looked like they comfortably won the division. DeGrom goes down, the team collapses. They're now like 6 games out, I'm pretty sure. Braves are done, Mets are done. Phillies played middling the whole time, went on a quick 9-game winning streak, fell off again. I think the Braves, they have the experience, even with Acuna out. Braves will take home the NL East.
And then moving on to the NL Central, we have
Brewers
a
easy.
red hot team in the Brewers, 78-49, 8-2 in their last 10, with the Reds kind of on their tail. 69 wins, lucky number.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, despite Christian Yelich struggling with injuries and COVID issues this year and just struggling in general, the Brewers have been able to keep it together off of some hot pitching. Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, some great pitching from the Brewers starting rotation this year.
And then
Let's become a Giants pod for a second here. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a hypothetical game, which is going best case scenario. Best case scenario, the Giants win enough games to stay ahead of the Dodgers, but lose enough games to drop behind the Brewers. What the Giants need to happen is the Brewers get the number 1 spot. They get the number 2 spot and win the division. The Braves get the number 3 spot, and then Dodgers can get the wild card. Because right now, it looks like no matter what happens, like let's say they win the division, Dodgers play the wild card, or Dodgers win the division, they play the wild card. They're running into the Dodgers in the first round, and you don't want that to happen, especially because the Giants' whole thing was veteran pitchers somehow having career years. Alex Wood thought he was washed. Anthony DeSclafani thought he was washed. Kevin Gossman thought he was washed. And they all pitched to like sub 2.5 ERAs in the first half of the year. Unheard of. And finally, a reality check for all 3 of those guys. So, and you're running into a Dodgers team, Buehler, Kershaw, the list goes on. That's a scary first round matchup for what theoretically is the best team in baseball.
Can I just interject? Other guys have stepped up, younger players. Logan Webb is looking like the ace of the ball club right now. He's 24 years old. Lamont Wade has come up crucial. I vividly remember pinch hit on Saturday's game against hit a long ball. He's a favorite for rookie of the year right now in the NL. One of the favorites. I would have to say Kieran doesn't agree with that, but I think he's up there. I'd say he's up there.
Jonathan India.
You're relying on some of the old names with Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey, Brandon Belt. Hit 2 home runs on Sunday against the A's and hit 1 home run today against the Mets in their win. He's been playing really, really well recently ever since coming back from injury.
I think that right now, like the situation here, like the Giants are 3 games above the Dodgers right now. And the Dodgers are also on a red hot streak. They're almost identical to the Yankees' red hot streak. Just I think a 1 or 2 loss differential there.
Yeah.
Giants are playing really well right now. And against the Mets especially, they've been solid. But I really think the Dodgers are gonna take this. They're gonna go on a hot streak here even further. I think the Giants are gonna drop a couple of games.
They
Coming
played
forward.
3 times, which will be like when we're recording our next show, pretty much. So I think a lot will become clear in that 3-game set. The Giants have done surprisingly well against the Dodgers this season. And let's hope, if we're being a Giants pod here, that we hope that they continue that hot streak. If, let's say they take 2 of 3 from that Dodgers series, it's over. It's the Giants won the division.
Let me just say, though, the Giants have 16 days. The next 16 days, there will be 16 games, no off days. It is going to be a challenging stretch for the Giants,
Dog
perhaps
days,
the most
baby.
challenging stretch of the year so far. Playing the Mets, playing the first place Braves, playing the Dodgers, as you mentioned, also playing the Brewers. This is going to be a brutal.
You guys are playing the Braves.
We're playing the leaders in the East, the Central, and a team that is right up our ass.
Exactly.
So it is a brutal stretch. And then you're traveling to Denver. And the Rockies are one of the best home teams in baseball. This is
an
a really
atrocious stretch for you guys. You need
this
Atlanta back home for Milwaukee without an off day. 3 against the Dodgers at the Rockies, which, as you said, has like somehow they're just who knows what's going on with them. They're ridiculously good at home. But then you go like Cubs should be a laugher. Oh my God. Then you go Padres, Braves, Padres at the Rockies.
Yeah.
The Padres again. Oh no.
But let me just say this.
It's gonna be a photo finish and a fun one to watch at that.
I'm gonna contradict myself, but
Okay.
the Giants are the luck, like they are the best team in baseball right now, but they are also the luckiest. And that's what it takes sometimes in baseball. Just take today's game. The Mets
It win a World Series without luck. That's what I always say.
The Mets got 10 hits to the Giants 4, and the Giants had 2 errors. And yet the Giants still won 3-2. It's astounding. A game similar to that. I think
That's the luckiest team in baseball running up against the unluckiest.
Both-
That's
both
a tie break.
both A's wins on Saturday and Sunday. The A's had 8 hits, and one of them the Giants played very well on Saturday. But on Sunday, A's had 8 hits to the Giants 4, and the Giants still won. It's incredible.
This should be worrying though. Like this is not a pattern that should start. Like
I agree.
like, Dodgers aren't scoring 2 runs off 10 hits. That's for sure.
But then you also have
Braves
games,
aren't scoring 2
Giants-
runs off 10
you
hits.
also have games where the Giants are blowing out the Mets 8-0. You know,
Mets are terrible. Mets have just like absolutely imploded after the DeGrom injury. But
Unfortunately.
that's enough baseball. As much as I could talk about this for an hour, and we will next show when the dog days continue. We get into September. But let's move on. It's fantasy draft season, Nate's favorite time of the year. And we got a jam-packed little segment for you. We're going 7 running backs, 7 receivers, 5 QBs, a fantasy tip from each of us, and we'll do a little mock draft if we have time at the end. Let's start with we'll go top three running backs. Nate, let's start with you.
top 3 only. Okay, we're gonna go Christian McCaffrey at number 1. Pretty obvious. And just by the way, I'm assuming this is PPR. This is what we decided before the show. This is for PPR league. Christian McCaffrey 1, Dalvin Cook 2, Derrick Henry 3.
Solid takes there. My top 3 here, I got McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook at the 1 and 2 also. But I'm taking Kamara over Henry this year because I think the Titans are going to stick more to the passing game with the addition of Julio Jones.
I'm going CMC 1. He's a shooting at that spot. Dalvin Cook 2, who I got at 4 in our fantasy draft. A bit of luck. Can't win a fantasy championship without luck. That's what I always say. And Derrick Henry comes in at 3.
You got a lot of sayings, don't you, Kieran?
They all revolve around the luck.
doesn't bode well for you, let's be honest. And then
Yeah,
rounding out, you said top 7, so at my 4 I got
Round them
Kamara.
out. Why don't you?
4 I got Kamara. 5 I got Saquon Barkley, arguably the biggest boomer bust player in fantasy this year. 6 I got Austin Eckler. 7 I got JT, Jonathan Taylor. Not talking Timberlake.
From 4 through 7, to me, at the 4, I've got Derrick Henry. It was between Kamara and Henry for the 3, but I put Henry at the 4. At the 5, I have Austin Eckler. At the 6, I have Nick Chubb. And then at the 7, I have Ezekiel Elliott.
At number 4, I have Kamara. At 5, I have Barkley. I like that flyer. I have a Chubb at 6. And then Jonathan Taylor. I'll put him at 7. And I know Nate's not a big fan of Nick Chubb, but I'm a huge believer in Nick Chubb. He still gets the goal line carries over Kareem Hunt. If that's what we're worried about, who splits those carries, it's Chubb at the goal line. I mean, yes, we've said time and time again, we don't like a running back by committee, but I don't see it that way really in Cleveland. I think it's like a very strong one.
Rounding out the, just saying, I kind of did a little bit of extra work and did a full top 10. Zeke is not even in my top 10.
Yeah,
Oh,
because we have
wow.
the best quarterback in the league back, baby.
Oh,
The Dak attack is back. That's what I always say.
I rank Ben Roethlisberger over that man.
You're joking.
Good
Good segue. Good segue, Ion. Let's go to the top 5. And Nate, I know you have Dak in your top 5, so please go first.
Mahomes at 1, Josh Allen at 2. This is a very clear 1-2 for me. 1A, and then 2A. Then you kind of got a 2B here in Dak. And rounding out the top 5, I got Aaron Rodgers and Herbo fully loaded. That was Kieran's team name last year. Rocking with the third-year player out of Oregon.
My list is almost identical. Mahomes 1, Allen 2. I'm going Kyler 3. The short king in Arizona, Rodgers 4, and Herbert 5.
My top 5, I got
Shout out the 5th grade midget-looking ass, as Kieran called him in
oh yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, I think that might have been the beginning of the season when the Niners lost to Zona week 1.
Yeah.
Well, lost to a 5th grade looking ass, which was true.
Fifth grade looking
A
ass.
classic line from Kieran. Another one of his great sayings that doesn't involve luck.
I mean, okay, my top 5 here is a little different. I got Mahomes at 1, obviously. At the 2, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. I think that he's gonna have a really, really good final season
Yeah.
with Green Bay.
Final season in the league.
Yeah. At the 3, everyone sleeps on this man, and I don't get why, because he is the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. I'm putting him at the number 3. Now, these assholes, both of them, last year during the Super Bowl, we made the Super Bowl show and we did predictions. Oh my god, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. Both of you took the Chiefs. I'm the only one who had faith in Brady, who has 7 rings now. Who has carried the Patriots and then just took Tampa Bay randomly. And the fact that you guys don't have him in your top 5 is disrespectful at this point. This is like an MJ version in 97, 98 MJ. This is Brady now. And then at the 4, I got Josh Allen, which is solid pick. And then at 5, I'm actually going to take Russell Wilson. I think he'll have a better season than he did last season. But we have a pattern with Russell Wilson where he like starts off the season super strong, as do the Seahawks, and then they lose 4 straight. So he's erratic, but I'm gonna be taking him at the 5 spot
I
here.
just want to respond to your allegations that we do not respect Tom Brady.
We respect the hell out of that man.
But we just don't. I think he's going to finish top 7. I think if we're going 6 to 7, I got Kyler at 6, Tom Brady at 7,
Dak at 6.
ahead of guys like Russell Wilson, ahead of guys like Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill, Matthew Stafford, people like that. I'm a big fan of Brady this year. I really like what he's got. I think he has 3. He basically has 3 1,000-yard receivers in Evans, Godwin, and Brown. So he's going to have a great year in Tampa with Bruce Arians, the quarterback whisperer.
I mean, I'm simply going off of, okay, fine, your rankings are cool and all. Maybe that was one misquote that I had. I'm just going off of last Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Well,
why
as a
you
show,
basing this year's fantasy season off one game?
That's like me saying Peyton Manning was a top 5 quarterback the year after he won his last Super Bowl with the Broncos because he wasn't in the league.
No, Nate, but here's the thing. Peyton Manning at the time was a lot older than Tom Brady is at this point in time.
No,
now.
he was not. He was
We
not.
both know that's wrong. On Tom Brady's like the
No,
oldest
that's wrong.
running quarterback, whatever.
Tom Brady.
I still think okay. First off, I think that Brady winning the Super Bowl last year was a huge statement. And yes, obviously not like denying that Peyton Manning winning his last year with the Broncos was solid and all, but Brady carried the offense, and we know it in Tampa Bay. They took down the best team in the league, 31-10. Right? When everyone's banking on the Chiefs and Mahomes, the young man, right? So I just think that he'd be in anybody's top 3 if we're like going based off of just respect in the sense that he'd come up clutch this season. Because we don't know if this will be his last season or not.
But I mean, you want mobile quarterbacks
don't
with
think it's his-
running points.
Well, the way one of my leagues is doing it this year is that they've increased the amount of points that a passing touchdown is, and they've like decreased like running yards for quarterbacks and stuff or something like that to make it balance out so that less people are taking like Kyler Murray in the 3rd round,
Yeah.
grabbing like
makes sense.
quarterbacks who are getting just as many points in the 12th. So that segues us into wide receiver rankings, I guess. I don't know how, but it will work. My wide receiver rankings, top 7. I got Devontae Adams at 1, Stephon Diggs at 2, Tyreek Hill at 3. This is a very consensus top 3 for many people, and I'm assuming all 3 of us. I just think Diggs primary target. Mahomes also got Kelsey. That's why Tyreek Hill is down to 3. He's also had some injury concerns over the years. Calvin Ridley at 4. DeAndre Hopkins at 5, although I'm a little concerned about his vaccination stance. DK Metcalf at 6, and CeeDee Lamb at 7.
My top 7, pretty much identical here. Good. Devontae Adams at 1. I'm putting Tyreek Hill at 2 actually over Stephon Diggs. Both are gonna have a very like close season, so it can go either way. Really, I think I can just count mine as interchangeable. At the
1A.
4, I've got. Wait, what's up?
I was just gonna say Adams is a clear 1A, and then you got 2 1Bs and
Yeah.
Diggs,
Yeah. And then at the 4, I've got Calvin Ridley. 5 also D Hop. 6, I got DK. At the 7, I'm taking AJ Brown. I think that he's gonna have a really, really good year. Now that I think the Tennessee offense is shifting more to the passing side. If Tannehill comes in clutch this season, I think AJ Brown could actually be in like top 4. It's kind of a bold statement. Kieran, how about you?
I have the same consensus. Adam Digsy Hill, Ridley 4, high on Ridley. D Hop. Here's where it gets a bit gray area. Like I could go DK 5, D Hop 5. Let's say those are interchangeable at 5 and 6. Like McLaurin, AJ Brown, I'd say are similar. There, McLaurin sharing, AJ Brown sharing targets with, of course, Julio Jones. McLaurin sort of alone in his offense. I guess they added Curtis Samuel, but McLaurin finally has a steady quarterback in Fitzmagic. So I'm really high on McLaurin this year. Picked him up. Tried to pick him up in both of my leagues. Just have him in one though. But I'm really high on Terry McLaurin this year. So before we hop into a mock, let's give you one drafting tip. I'm going to start with mine. There's a huge tight end drop-off. It's Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, and then, like, I would say you can wait 4 rounds. And the difference between Higbee and Mark Andrews is maybe like 3 points, maybe 2 points. You have to try and get one of those 3. I reached tight end both my leagues. Kelsey, Waller, Kittle. You cannot let yourself be in that drop off.
Kelsey, Kittle, or Waller, or like if we're gonna, I think that you like drafters should base it off of like tiers to make it easier for themselves. And tier 1, yeah, Kelsey, Kittle, and then Darren Waller.
But there's no tier 2. Like it's just those 3 and then everyone else.
Agree a bit. I think we're looking at guys like Mark Andrews.
Like
Kyle
Logan Thomas
Pitts.
versus Tyler Higbee.
I
Mark
don't
Andrews.
think Logan Thomas is in the same. I think it's really tier 1. It goes Waller, Kelsey, Waller, Kittle.
Yeah.
Really high emphasis on with an emphasis on Kelsey, and then
And
tier
then
2, I think Mark Andrews is there by himself. Tier 3, I'm looking at guys like T.J. Hawkinson and Kyle Pitts. Kyle
I
Pitts
think
should be a tier 2 guy, but I'm keeping him in tier 3. And then tier 4, that's when you're looking at guys like Higbee, Tanyan, Thomas.
I think Kyle Pitts and TJ Hawkinson should be in tier 2 along with Mark Andrews, but an emphasis on Mark Andrews like Kelsey in tier 1.
I think Waller's your best tier 1 pick, and here's why. Because ESPN has like Kelsey as the 4th best player in their thing. So like he's gonna be gone. Like thinking how many fantasy or how many auto drafters are gonna be in your league. He's not getting through the first round. Like either someone's gonna be on auto draft and blindly take him, or someone's just hitting the top guy in their rankings to take him. Waller like dropped to late second, early third for me.
But as you will see in this mock draft that we're about to do using the rankings that this league has, and along with, I think ESPN's the only site that has Kelsey in the first round at all. I think most of them have him in the second to third range. So as you'll see, we'll be seeing Kelsey go mid-second round on this mock draft that we're about to do right now. My tip is going to be don't get caught in a QB run. This year's QB class is very, very deep. And unless there are idiots in your league taking backup quarterbacks,
Like ours.
what's an example we're thinking of, Kieran? Like, didn't someone
Someone picked like Herbert as a backup.
Yeah, Herbert as a backup. Like, that's pathetic, stupid. Many, like, if you're playing in a league full of idiots, then yeah, you're gonna probably have to go along with the QB run. But if you're in a league full of people who know what they're doing, don't get caught up in that QB run. You can grab great value guys like Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, players like that around like round 9 to 10. So keep an eye on that if you are drafting. Let's go right now to this website, which we'll do a quick little fantasy draft
Yeah,
on.
like
Randomize our draft.
Tyler Murray's a backup in our league.
We're drafting from the 7th position. We got PPR scoring, snake order, 21 season.
2 QBs, maybe, depending on how fast this goes.
We'll see. But yeah, we will start the draft and let's see where it goes. Christian McCaffrey 1. And we will be looking at let's go cheat sheets because I think it's a little better. We're looking at Davante Adams, Austin Eckler, all these players right here. And
I think this is an obvious Davante Adams.
I really like the idea of grabbing Davante Adams here. Kind of going up against what Ion said with taking a running back in the first round.
I like Davante if you're sitting at 5. With CMC, Cook, Kamara, Henry off the board, take a flyer. Take a flyer on Davante over Saquon or Zeke.
Where is Saquon in this mock?
Tier 2, he went early.
Oh, he did go early. Okay. Yeah, then I think Davante Adams is the move
Davante,
here.
obvious pick.
You down with that, Ion?
Okay. I think that either a wide receiver or a running back is good. I just prefer a running back first round compared to a wide receiver. I think it goes running back then wide receiver, and you try to alternate as best as you can.
This is a bit of a tough position here.
Now we're in a tough spot.
Only tier 2 player is Calvin Ridley, and then
We're going to be caught without a running back.
Yeah, this is the situation that you guys do not want to be in.
We have
Don't
to go
be
into
like
Gibson.
us.
I think we do. I'm a big Antonio Gibson guy.
There's
I'm not
such a huge drop off after Antonio Gibson.
That's
on
true.
a tight end. One of your
Theoretically, if we take Waller here, can we go sort by running back? Like, let's say we go Waller here, we'd be lucky to get David Montgomery as a running back 1, which maybe I don't hate.
I hate that.
Maybe we go Waller Montgomery instead of
No, I say you go Gibson, even if it's a reach.
you go Gibson.
Yeah.
Tough spot to be in.
It is a tough spot to be in, but you're gonna have to get that, and then you're gonna be able to go to great running back 2 and a wide receiver 2. And as you can see, both tight ends go, and we miss out, unfortunately, on J.K. Dobbins, who's someone I'm very high on. Here is the position. Do we go running back or do we go with a receiver and go with?
Here's the problem: we picking so long. Do we think we can get Chris Carson? Do we think we can go CeeDee Lamb, Chris Carson?
I do not know, and I like the sound of going CeeDee Lamb though. Ian, what do we think?
So do I.
Yeah, I think it's Robinson
Over
yeah,
A-Rob
but
for sure.
He's a solid pick compared to Robinson.
I'm gonna take CD.
What
And
about James Robinson? If
That's
we can
what-
get James Robinson next round,
That's the next pick. And he goes, but I think we're still looking at Chris Carson, who was a good RB2.
this is who we wanted. I'd rather have J.K. Dobbins or James Robinson.
James Robinson. And realistically, James Robinson should be going in the 2nd or 3rd round now that Travis Etienne is out for the season. So we're gonna go with Chris Carson here. And then we're gonna be looking at a flex or tight end for our next pick. Kyler Murray gone.
And I'd say flex.
It's out on Brandon Ayuk, which is really unfortunate.
Pitts gone. I wanted Pitts.
Daryl Henderson.
Darrell Henderson flex,
Right.
no question.
Man. But although I think it's a little bit of concern that they just traded for Stoney Michelle. So maybe gonna steal a little bit more from Daryl Henderson. Do we grab our tight end?
What's the difference between
No.
Hawkinson and the two guys down the board?
We got Andrews, and I like Andrews more than Hawkinson.
Oh, if it's between these two, okay, yeah, okay. If we can
But
get
I also
Andrews,
think,
we'll go Andrews.
I also think you could be looking at Mike Davis.
I'd rather have Darrell Henderson.
So I think it's between Andrews and Henderson. You got any names you want to throw out?
We'll go Andrews.
I think
What are our pick insights? Let's see what they have to say. Bottom right corner.
So they're suggesting go with tight end or quarterback.
Fine. We'll go tight end, but we're going Mark Andrews.
yeah, definitely.
Like, see, are we like now we were caught in the quarterback run where we didn't want to be.
It's the quarterback run still has not happened. We're looking at a really nice flex in Chase Edmonds.
Is he a very nice flex? I'm not sure. Is he a fine flex? Yeah.
He's a good.
Yeah, we'll take him. We don't really have a choice here. We have to go quarterback here. I'd go back to suggestions after this pick just to see what they're. I'd go suggestions for this pick. Let's see what they're saying. Yeah, okay. They want us to take a flex, so we'll go with who you wanted, Chase Edmonds.
I think Chase Edmonds is the move.
I'm personally not very high on Chase Edmonds, but Nate seems to be.
QB run has just begun.
We've been run by though.
But if you look at the draft log, if you look at who has been picked so far,
Everyone.
this team, only one team does not have a quarterback along with us, and we're going to be looking at either Tannehill or Stafford, which is.
So do we want to just bolster the bench?
We're going to hold on the QB.
Debo, get your boy. Sure.
Debo, I prefer Brandon Cooks, honest to God.
There gotta be someone better than both those guys.
Let's also see who we could be looking at here. I really like the sound of Cooks this year. He's been very
I
consistent.
like Corey Davis a little bit for our bench. If it's a pure bench wide receiver, like I think Corey Davis's upside's a lot higher.
Debo, we know we're gonna get good run after catch, good yak.
But he's a third pass catcher in his system. Corey Davis is the first pass catcher in his system.
He's playing in the flex. I'm a big Corey Davis fan.
Do we think? I'm honestly very high. Corey Davis is gonna be the number one wide receiver for the Jets.
What are we thinking, Ion?
I think no, Corey Davis is the number one option.
Yeah.
Or
I
Zach
think it's
Wilson that has been struggling this preseason?
Yeah, but it's preseason.
Okay. Do you want to go? Do you want to go Michael Carter? We think it's a run first system.
Ooh.
No.
I think it's gonna be a running back by committee.
With who?
I actually like the sound of Mostert.
I like the sound of Davis. We don't care about his Zach Wilson's one preseason game struggle, two preseason games.
Well, we'll take the risk on Corey Davis. I think he's gonna be a good player, but
He's a bench flyer. What more do you want from the bench?
we're gonna
Okay, Tannehill's gone. We have to go Stafford.
I think we're gonna take Stafford here. They don't think we should though.
Oh, no. Okay, so now we can wait forever.
Yeah, we'll go with Mostert here because no way
Almost there.
a backup quarterback. So we're gonna take Raheem Mostert because he's gonna be a fantastic backup running back. He's-
Okay. Actually, though, we should have maybe gone quarterback because, like, let's be honest. In most people's leagues, someone's gonna make a mistake and go backup quarterback.
We're gonna go quarterback here though.
Matthew, easy, unlucky.
He is a great player. one of the most underrated guys in the league. Kieran and I are both big fans of him. And now
We're just filling in the bench. I don't know if we really have to do that.
let's see who we're going to be looking at here. Looking at guys like
40 ball Jamal.
40 ball Jamal. JD McKissick, big fan.
He'll drop. He might not. Maybe we should take him. Go to suggestions. He was a top hit in our suggestions.
He was.
We'll go JD.
Who is a good guy for Yak. Good guy for just catching out of the
But
backfield.
Sony Michelle. If Sony Michelle is still here,
I don't know if he's gonna be still here. I want to get a receiver.
if Sony Michelle is still here, we have to take Sony Michelle.
I'm looking at the top receivers
We
right now.
control F Sony Michelle.
Don't like any of this. I don't want to double down on Jets receivers.
Oh yeah, no Elijah Moore for sure.
But I wouldn't mind Jacob.
Can you search players?
I wouldn't mind Jalen Rager. See what else we could be looking at here. So we could be looking at Joey B. Joey Football.
No. We're not getting a backup.
Could be looking at another running back.
If Sony's there, he's ours, right? Like if this ranking was made before the trade, he must be pretty low. Or we go Jalen Rager.
I like
Jalen Rager or a running back.
I like Center Rager.
Sure.
We're gonna see some defenses going to run here, I believe. Oh, only one got picked. Let's see what the suggestion is. It's a quarterback or another receiver. I think at this
Not
point,
Elijah Moore.
I don't like any of these options besides maybe Rashad Penny or maybe Murray. But Jamison Crowder, but he lost the slot job. Aguilar. It's a tough position.
Belichick gets everyone touches. Why not? Or do we want a backup tight end?
Maybe Tyler. What do you think?
We'll go Tyler Higbee and backup quarterback here to round it out. And then a defense kicker is also a discussion. Where do you go with those guys? I'd personally, Sony Michelle was on the board this whole time. Are you kidding me, Nate? Sony Michelle's better than our last 3 picks easily.
I think we grab a defense now because defense can be very valuable.
Yeah. The Rams and Niners are probably gone. Are the Colts still there? I like the Colts. And the Colts in a bad
I
division.
like all 3 of these.
Who plays in the worst division?
Strength of schedule. The Niners have a very easy schedule. I like the sound of going San Francisco.
Baltimore's so high though, and Baltimore gets so many interceptions.
They do have a mean secondary. We'll go Baltimore and then close it out with
We'll go kicker QB maybe.
Miss out on Young Way, which is
Unlucky. Hot Rod.
Harrison.
Oh, Harrison. No. Oh, Greg the leg. Are you kidding me? No questions asked. It's Butker. Yeah, Butker.
Yeah, Butker.
We're going Harrison.
Backup Q, baby.
Probably.
See what's available.
See what's available. Rodrigo just got picked. Looking at Ryan Kirk.
Tua
Tua's not a-
Tua I like as a bench QB flyer.
I think Fitzpatrick is more surefire.
Exactly. But we have
This is my advice on bench quarterbacks. You always take a guy of high upside. Tua Tagovailoa is the definition of a high upside boom or bust pick, and I like the sound of going with him.
he's on both my team's benches, I think.
I think we're gonna get Tua, and that closes out our draft. Get a B-, which is unfortunate.
Yikes.
But when I was doing these with my preparing for my draft, I got a 96 on my first one. So I'm gonna call this one Kieran.
So we're gonna say that Nate just can't handle the pressure when the little recording flashes red, he chokes.
This is the first time I've not seen the letter A on my screen after doing one of these drafts. So, but I actually really like a lot of our picks. Only downside is that we
It fell
got.
apart in the Chase Edmonds pick.
You think so?
I do.
All right, let's close it out with some quarterback competition discussion real quick.
No, we don't have that much time, so let's just say who we think. No.
Francisco versus
Explanation needed.
San Francisco, Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance. Who we saying that?
Jimmy
is?
G week 1, Trey Lance week 3.
Trey Lance week 1, Jimmy G if things go bad.
I'm
Can't
saying
do that. You can't start Lance and then take away his spot.
I agree with Kieran on that. I'm saying Jimmy G, and then you bring in Trey Lance in the bye week. New England, Mac Jones versus Cam Newton. Cam Newton currently in COVID-19.
Same thing. Cam starts it. Mac
I'm
finishes
taking
it.
Cam. Ion.
I mean, there's been a lot of controversy between the Pats and Cam right now, but I'll still take Cam.
I actually disagree. Mac Jones, today's practice, he was 21 for 23, throwing no interceptions, a lot of touchdowns in the joint practice against the Giants. And I think he's going to pounce the opportunity of Cam Newton being out in practice for 5 days. Chicago, Andy Dalton, the Ginger, and Justin Fields. Who are we thinking?
Maybe Fields wins this one.
I think Fields takes it.
I agree, Justin Fields. And then finally, New Orleans,
Jameis. He's a Heisman winning quarterback who's like the only player to pass for 5,000 yards or whatever that stat was.
One of eight.
One of 8 players to pass for 5,000 yards. Why did we give up on him so early? Jameis, baby.
Yeah.
Jameis as a Tua-esque flyer for your fantasy bench.
He threw 30 interceptions in the season, but he also threw 30 touchdowns. He threw 5,000 yards. It's a very, very interesting conundrum down in New Orleans, but I'm still taking
Taysom Hill's not a quarterback.
Jameis. And with that being said, this will be our show. We got next week. We're going to be talking some more baseball. Probably going to be talking some more football. We're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff. We're in the dog days right now, but NFL season, college football, all coming up. I believe this Saturday is going to be the first Saturday with college football. I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe next week we'll do a college football show. I know these guys don't follow it, but thank you so much for watching today's show. For Ion and Kieran, I've been Nate Martin. You've been watching the Big Three Sports Talk Show. We'll see you next week.